and it shows you what the desire, the quest for money and funds does to a person. Tim Pool made a name for himself initially as someone who went to cover Occupy Wall Street. I remember that. And I remember, this video exists, I remember talking about it when I hosted a show with Michael Brooks on Jacobin. We showed the video. He was hassled by cops as he was covering Occupy Wall Street. And he was furious. The cops, the police state, this, that, crying and crying and crying. What a victim, right? Because when there is unjust police behavior that targets people like him, unacceptable. But when you have a very clear case, it's so clear, I mean, you couldn't get clear, of police brutality, police murder, and it affects a black person in Mississippi, I'm sorry, in Tennessee, no, it's totally fine. I mean, we gotta find excuses to both, in a weird way, provide cover for the cops, but then also question whether the cops were qualified, probably because of their skin color.
Not probably, definitely.
Yeah.
Look, if you guys don't know how Tim Pool got tiny bit famous that we bothered to talk about him, he used to come on this show and other shows, left-wing shows, as Anna pointed out, when he would go to Ferguson, etc. And back then he was like, I'm with the people and I'm with.
I don't know about Ferguson, he went to Occupy for sure, yeah.
So I think he did, but but you guys can confirm that, etc. Right? So he goes and pretends to be a left-winger and pretends to be concerned about the plight of black people, etc. So then as a left-winger starts doing a show, it's totally not popular because he's not an interesting person, he's not an intelligent person. And then he stumbles upon a winning solution for him financially, which is racism. And so he became known as the guy on the left who blames black people for everything. So you would watch his show and just rando, out of nowhere, everything would come back to, it's black people's fault. And then the right wingers love that. They were like, and it's the old Dave Rubin, Jimmy Dore model, right? I am on the left, but trust me, it's the left's fault for everything, and especially black people, okay? That's Tim's specialty. To be fair to Rubin and Dore, they don't do that particular specialty as much.
Not yet.
Okay, so this guy is a professional whore. The minute he got money out of that, he was like, ooh, never mind being on the left. I mean, I'll still pretend, right? But remember guys, black guy's fault for dying, and the black guy's fault for killing him, but it's not the cops' fault who are mainly white. Cops are awesome, white people are awesome. It's always the left and black people that are at fault. And by the way, he said he resisted. You can watch the video, the New York Times did a count, but you can do your own count. 71 times they gave him contradictory or confusing commands, which were literally impossible to comply with.
Let me give you an example. Show us your hands, as they have his hands in their hands, as they have him like under their control, subdued completely. I mean, it was so clear, even with what the cops were saying, the body camera, the footage, it's all there. You can hear it for yourselves. They are bragging about beating him, looking forward to beating him, bragging about beating him after they beat him, right? Like their comments made it so clear that they had this lust for going after people as viciously and violently as they did. But Tim Pool, this is his job. This is what he does, right? This is what he does. Could you imagine how Tim Pool's audience would react if he had factual, reasonable analysis of that case? I'm pretty sure they wouldn't like it. It would really put his whole operation in jeopardy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, it's more of an indictment of the country than it is of him, because
100%.
Once he went with the spiel of I'm on left or I'm moderate, but I'm racist, the viewers poured in. And that is super sad as a statement for the country and what works. So look, we built this gigantic network on the idea that people are decent to one another, and it worked. Unfortunately, the quicker and easier route is just say things that are terrible. And there's a significant chunk of the country that will love you for it.